The second attack we're going to build is going to be the Frost attack. The Frost attack is very different from the Lightning attack. First off, the Frost attack deals no damage, and is instead what we would call a debuff attack. A debuff generally means that some negative effect is applied to a character in the game. In this case, the Frost attack is going to freeze enemies in place so they can no longer move. Furthermore, the Frost attack is a cone attack, making it an area of effect attack, or AoE for short. Finally, the Frost attack has no cooldown, and instead is what you would call a continuous or streaming attack. As long as you hold down the attack button, the Frost cone continues to fire. The first thing we're going to build when building this attack is the Frost debuff. The Frost debuff has two parts. The first is the simple freezing or snowy effect. The second is the actual ice block that appears once the enemy is actually frozen solid. Apart from its particle effect, the Frost debuff is also responsible for attaching to an enemy and slowing it down and eventually freezing it solid, preventing it from animating or moving. Besides the Frost debuff, we're also going to create the Frost attack emitter. As we can see, this emitter is going to emit a constant stream of light blue particles. Again, just like the lightning attack, this is a great reminder to the player of which attack they currently have equipped. The Frost attack game object is also going to be responsible for most of the logic of the attack. The Frost attack game object will determine what enemies are in range, and then will assign Frost debuffs to those enemies so that the Frost debuff can then handle freezing the enemies in place. The Frost attack is also going to have this Frost cone. The Frost cone will be responsible for the visual effects of the Frost attack, and as you can see, it's made up of three different particle systems: the Frost cone, the ice bits, and the cone inner. Altogether, the Frost cone makes for a very useful area of attack or AoE ability. Even though it doesn't do any damage, it's great for freezing enemies in place and giving the player an opportunity to escape.